AM show.
The world is keeping a very close eye on the emergence of Omicron that appears to be more infectious than Delta. So how bad is it? We're joined now by in Wellington, by epidemiologist Michael Baker. Good morning.
We're in Orion.
You just heard from the Prime Minister there, we're expecting up to 20 people in the next few weeks from this region in Southern Africa. Do you think they should be treated any differently to potential Delta cases?
There's no need to, because we already have very good precautions at our border. And as you've already heard, we're actually one of the last countries in the world that still has full quarantine at our border. So I think that should make New Zealanders feel a lot more comfortable about this new threat. It means that to come into New Zealand, you have to have a pre-travel test. You're going into MIQ for these people for 2 weeks. You're having additional tests along the way. So I think that's very reassuring that we can keep this variant out of New Zealand.
Okay, so nothing too much to worry about at this stage. Why is this a variant of concern then? What is it about this that we should be worried about?
Well, two big problems. One is that it's got a lot of mutations, and many of these mutations affect the spike protein. And that's the key part of the virus. It attaches to cells and gives it entry into those cells. So that's important. But the other concern is that that's also the target for vaccines and also natural immunity if you've been previously exposed. So it might mean this variant is better able to evade that immunity. But actually, it's very unlikely that our vaccines won't still work effectively against it. That's something we need to find out. But the other problem, of course, is that it's very infectious. And this is the big surprise, that it can actually outcompete the Delta variant in South Africa, and also the fact that it's starting to travel around the globe. It means that it's got that competitive advantage, and it means it will become more common, or very likely to. So
we hear variant of concern, and we've had a few of them over the months now. What's your message to people? Would you be booking overseas travel, Michael? Would you, if you're, in New Zealand, you're thinking, 7 days home isolation next year, I could probably pop off somewhere to the islands or wherever you want to go. Would a variant like this give you pause for thought?
Yeah, well, look, we just need to know more about it. As everyone says, it's early days. And this is now the system globally is that the people doing surveillance of these viruses are looking very closely. So in a sense, that's quite reassuring, because with the Delta variant, it really caught the world off guard and we were very slow to act. Now we're acting very fast, and I think that means that the news travels very quickly. We shouldn't catastrophize the situation. I think this is, particularly in New Zealand, it's a manageable problem. But yes, it could be quite grim, unfortunately, in some parts of the world where they're already suffering from, very few resources and low vaccination coverage. And actually, the way to stop these variants emerging is to deliver more vaccine to low-income countries.
Okay.
We really need to vaccinate the whole world.
This is the key. I was going to say, is this just going to keep happening? We're going to go round and round in circles, round and round the world. These new variants, and every time we'll panic a little bit and then we'll realise the vaccine's okay. If we vaccinate the entire world in the way that New Zealand has been vaccinated, would that stop this whole thing in its tracks?
It would get us a lot closer. That's the problem at the moment. We've created a system that means the virus is transmitting so widely in Africa, particularly in people who are immune compromised. That's a factory for producing more and more of these variants.
Michael, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. Professor Michael Baker, epidemiologist, with us this morning at 20.